This is an ABP Live Podcast.
So welcome to Clear Cut, only on ABP Live Podcast. This is your newsman Rudrashish, and today, let's talk about bomb cyclone and winters in India. Christmas was not very merry this year in the United States and Canada. And the way things are going, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a happy new year as well. More than 50 people have been reported dead because of the bomb cyclone. 27 people have died in New York alone. 4 have died in Canada. The United States is practically reeling with the deadliest cyclone of the century. My friend, who's a student of Syracuse University in the US, last night told me that the temperature has dropped to minus 25 degrees Celsius. Can you imagine? Minus 25 degrees. The bomb cyclone is wreaking havoc in almost 48 states. That's almost the whole of the United States. Now, it's the holiday season. People travel to the homes to be with their families. But this deadly snowstorm has interrupted the much-awaited year-end celebrations. Now coming to our country. If you are someone who lives in the northern part of India, Monday was a bone-chilling day for you. Parts of Delhi recorded temperature as low as 5 degrees Celsius. Dense fog made visibility hard in the national capital on Monday. Even I found it difficult to get out of bed and go to office. You can't even imagine the kind of motivation I needed to get out of my blanket. But surprisingly, my family back in Kolkata is saying that it doesn't feel like winters in Bengal at all. Temperatures touching as high as 25 degrees Celsius. Now, I've grown up in Kolkata. I've been in that city for 20 years. I know for sure winters used to be cold. Not as chilly as North India, but it used to be cold. So now the question is, why are these phenomena occurring? From bomb cyclone in America to cold waves in Delhi and warm winters in Kolkata. What's the reason behind all of this? Is climate change the driving force behind these? Are winters getting colder in some parts of India and warmer in some other parts? Don't worry, we'll decode all of this today. And since I'm no weatherman and nor a climate change expert, so today Akshit Sangomla will help us understand all of this. Akshit is a climate change writer for Down to Earth magazine who has written and researched extensively about global warming. So welcome to Clear Cut, Akshit. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, Rudrashish.
So Akshit, the United States and Canada didn't have a Merry Christmas, I would say, because these countries are now witnessing the deadliest cyclone of the century, the bomb cyclone. So what exactly is this bomb cyclone and why is it given such a deadly name?
So a bomb cyclone forms through a process known as bombogenesis. And the name has been given because it happens through a process of rapid intensification. And this rapid intensification is also seen in normal cyclones which form over the ocean. This particular cyclone does not form over the ocean, it forms over land. And basically a low pressure system gets created over land, mostly around Midwest of the United States. And this low pressure system gets aggravated very quickly, and within a span of 24 hours, the pressure drops. And due to this pressure drop, it picks up intensity very, very quickly. And this process is known as rapid intensification. And the rapid intensification of this bomb cyclone basically happens because of the interaction of the cold air that is coming in from the Arctic region and the warmer air that is over the subtropical regions. And because of that interaction, basically the rapid intensification happens. So that is basically what a bomb cyclone is.
Now, can you tell me what's the difference between a bomb cyclone and a normal regular cyclone that happens in the United States every now and then?
So one particular difference, one big difference is that a bomb cyclone is forming over the land and not over the ocean like hurricanes do. Normally there in the United States, the tropical cyclones are known as hurricanes and they form over the ocean. And they basically form over warm ocean waters, and then they sometimes rapidly intensify, sometimes intensify very slowly, and then they make landfall over land. But in the case of the bomb cyclone, basically it forms over land itself, and then it gets a lot of generates a lot of wind, it generates a lot of rainfall, it generates a lot of snowfall, and all of that happens over land. And the moisture incursion basically happens from the Arctic. The cold air from the Arctic that blows in, that basically creates the conditions which are favorable for such an event to happen.
Okay. Now, can you tell me how deadly is this bomb cyclone? Because till now, around 50 people have been reported dead in the United States. So, how long will this bomb cyclone last, and how deadly is this?
So the bomb cyclone from today, from yesterday itself, the conditions have become a bit warm.
Okay.
But because this was a freakish event, so the repercussions will still be around. But from today onwards, basically the warmer conditions will prevail, and slowly things will come back to normal. I think by the weekend, around New Year's, things will be back to normal.
Okay.
And it is a very deadly bomb cyclone this year. The earlier one happened in 2019, was also deadly, but like I think one person or two people had been killed at the time, and this is around 50 people have been killed this time. And one of the things that was peculiar about this one was the expanse of it. Around 48 states of the United States received snowfall, and right from the Canada border to right down to the Mexico border, a lot of places got a lot of snowfall, a lot of rainfall, and a lot of winds. So this was something unique. The expanse of it was something that had never been seen before, and that is why it's being called the bomb cyclone of the century.
Okay, then I guess the whole of America has witnessed this bomb cyclone. I mean, if 48 out of 50 states witnessed this, then it's a huge thing.
Yeah. It is a huge thing. As global warming happens, these bomb cyclones are also going to become more frequent because they're actually very rare events. They are not. They should, like, if an event has happened in 2019, another event should not be repeating in 2022. Within 3 years, there have been 2 events, and they should not be so frequent. They are this is a very rare event. And if it's happening like it has happened like twice in 3 years, means that it is happening more frequently. It might be happening more frequently, and one of the reasons for that is global warming. Because the cold Arctic air that is responsible for the formation of the bomb cyclone basically comes in because of the undulations of the polar jet stream, which is basically a very swift, wide band of winds that encircles the Arctic region. And during the winter months, it becomes a bit undulating, and that is why cold air flows in towards the subtropical regions in like Midwest in United States and Canada, and that is why winter conditions or winter storms happen. But these days, because of warming, because Arctic is warming much faster than the rest of the world, that is why these undulations are becoming more frequent, and that is why and it is becoming weaker. The polar jet stream itself is becoming weaker because of the warming. And that is why these bomb cyclones might become more frequent as warming happens.
Okay. Now coming back to where we are, coming back to our country. Now here in our country, northern India is suffering bone-chilling cold because of the cold wave. Now North India gets chilly every winter, no doubt about it. But back in Kolkata, in my hometown, my family is saying that it's 25 freaking degrees. There's no winter whatsoever. But growing up in Kolkata, it doesn't used to be this way. So how do you see and explain this?
So I'd like to begin by saying that December 1st this year, the India Meteorological Department basically made a forecast for the entire winter season, and they said that it's going to be a warmer than normal winter season for Northwest India and East and Northeast India. Right, and that is why perhaps Kolkata is warmer than it usually should be. Right.
Okay.
But despite that, cold waves will happen, and in fact, despite these cold waves that are happening right now, which started around December 15th, they're continuing till now, and they're going to continue for the next few days as well. Despite this, it might be a warmer winter, which is highly unusual. Because average temperatures over large regions, daily temperatures over large regions have come down, and still it's going to be a warmer than normal winter. So that is highly unusual. But cold waves do happen even in warm winters, and this is more of a weather phenomena than a climatic condition. And the reason that IMD gave for the current cold waves are dry northerly winds that are flowing in from the Himalaya, and basically these winds flow every season, and they bring in cold air from the Himalayas towards the plains. But what usually happens is western disturbances, which are extratropical storms which come from the Arctic and the Mediterranean region, they disrupt these cold winds and bring in some moisture and increase the maximum temperatures over northwest India.
Okay.
So this year, the western disturbances for the first 24 days were absent in December, which is highly unusual. And then the one that came on 24th was also very feeble, was very weak. And that is why the cold wave conditions, cold wave and cold day conditions that are currently occurring, they're going to continue.
Okay. And finally, the question in everyone's mind is that, do you think climate change is the driving force behind all of this? This bomb cyclone, this warm winters?
I don't think we can say that climate change is the driving force behind both of these events. But yes, climate change is going to. There have been predictions that climate change is going to cause such events, both for bomb cyclones and warmer winters. So yeah, basically that we can't attribute it. We can't attribute directly both these events to climate change. Yeah, but these events will might become more frequent as warming happens.
Okay, and do you think this warm winters for India is going to be a new normal again?
I don't think I can make that conclusion as such. But the past few winters have been warmer than normal, and this was despite a climatic phenomena known as the La Nina that is occurring in the equatorial Pacific Ocean, which is still going strong. It will perhaps go until March, and this is a triple dip La Nina. It has lasted 3 winters, which is highly unusual. Has happened only twice before this in the last 50 to 70 years. So that is highly unusual. And even in spite of that, we are having warm winters, which is a clear-cut imprint of climate change.
Well, it seems like the climate is not our friend at this moment, and we need to make some changes in our lives to control it. Well, Akshat, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. It was an absolute pleasure speaking to you.
Oh, it was an absolute pleasure here as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akshat. So that's all the news and scoops I have for you today. This episode was produced by Lalit. Before signing off, I want to tell you people that help those who need help during the winters. People who lie on the streets in the cold, chilly nights. Dogs and cats, animals who need shelter during the night. Please let them in. Just let them stay during the night. That's all they need. So this is your newsman Rudrashish Kanjilal signing off. Have a wonderful day ahead and keep listening to ABP Live Podcasts.
This is an ABP Live Podcast.